We'll be back in just a moment with a word from our sponsor, the Yeti. And we're back at Summer Games Done Quick 2015. Coming up next, we have Mega Man 4. Mega Man 4 is a race between Almond City and Chelney. This would be a really good race. Both runners are awesome. So I want to thank everybody for allowing me to host for these last few games. I was Velociraptor 42, and I have a challenge for you guys at home and in the audience. We're about a little over, looks like 8,000 away from 500,000. I want to see that by the end of Rockman and Forte. So let's do it. Thank you, everybody.
Hello again at Summer Games Done Quick 2015, live from St. Paul, Minnesota in the Crown Plaza. I am Golden, going to be on the microphone for the next few Mega Man games. And I'd like to encourage all of you who are watching to donate, as we currently have about 100,000 viewers. If each of you donated $10, we'd have a cool $1 million for Doctors Without Borders. So if you haven't donated yet, please consider donating, and maybe donate for your friend or your group of friends that aren't going to do it. Step up and donate a little bit more and help us reach that goal. We are very close to $500,000. I'd love to announce that here in the middle of Mega Man 4, so please, let's work to make that happen. If you can't donate, please consider spreading the stream, either by using the hashtag SGDQ2015 on Twitter, or you can also host the stream on your Twitch page. We have thousands of hosts right now, and we thank you guys for continuing to do that. We are currently setting up for the Mega Man 4 race. Got a few donations here to read off that were from the previous run. So we have $50 from MP69, who says, "Gotta love this Mega Man block." Shout out to all the runners. And he's looking forward to the Mega Man 4 race. Says, shout outs to the racers there. And his money goes to Link to the Past 100%. We have $30 from Love Albatross. It says, "Not my first donation to this event, and it won't be my last either. It's always great seeing everyone's talent and passion in action, and the knowledge that it is all for a great cause just makes it all the better. As for the animals, be quick or be dead, so save the frames, kill the animals." We have a rather large donation here, $437.38 from Mr. Cab. "Hey guys, awesome Mega Man block. Good luck to the runners and good luck with Square Machine. Let's skip those refights." Thank you for that donation. We have $100 from Joka, who says, I said something stupid in chat, but it's for a good cause. Thanks, Joka. Brett Suzo donated $50 and said, go Chelney, do it for the pumpkin. Rex Walters donated $50. Great games, awesome runs, an important cause. Agent Jones donated $50. Hey guys, thanks for running another great event. I've been watching and donating for a couple of years now, and the hype has only kept growing. Another reminder for those of you watching on the stream, if you subscribe to this channel, your subscription money will go entirely to the charity, and you'll also get some cool emotes in return, which we know you Twitch viewers love. So consider doing that as well. It's just another way for you to support the cause. We're in the middle of the classic Mega Man block. Mega Man 4 is coming up right now. We'll have Mega Man 10 after that, and Mega Man and Bass to follow. And just an announcement for those of you watching here in the venue and at home. We're going to take the stream down for just a minute to address some technical issues and make sure that you guys have the best possible viewing experience for this race. We don't want you to miss anything. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back here at Summer Games Done Quick 2015. Do you want to start off?
What?
What? All right. Well, thank you for bearing with us there as we address some technical issues. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2015. And actually, the whole taking the stream down and bringing it back up was just a guise for me to build up the hype here, because we now have raised over $500,000. Thank you to everybody who has been donating so far, and a continued thank you to those of you who will donate in the days to come here. We are now live and ready to go with the Mega Man 4 race. Before we get started here, I think it's only appropriate to introduce the runners here. On the left of your screen, we've got number 2, Almond City. And on the right of your stream, we have number 1, Chelney. Two best in the game going head to head here. Should be good. Yeah. Okay.
Hello?
Nice.
All right. All right. My name is CFB.
Slurpee Ninja.
I'm 8F Games, and this is Chelney, and this is Almond City. And this should be a pretty hype race, so get ready.
I can count it down if you want me to. I'd love to do that. All right. We both ready over here? All right. Let's get this race going here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So right off the bat here, you'll see these two taking different routes. So Almond City starting with Brightman, as Chelney goes Pharaoh Man first. And I believe Pharaoh is about 3 seconds faster, like overall. So it's just pretty close. And so you'll see them do different strats.
Yeah, the difference in the routes is very slight, but they'll end up back together eventually, so don't worry about it. It'll just give you sort of a different look at 2 different ways you can speedrun this game.
One of the main things to watch out for in this game is contact damage. Pretty much every enemy does massive damage if you touch the enemy directly instead of just a projectile. So, especially bosses, I believe they do 8 damage on contact, all of them. So, it's definitely something you want to avoid.
Yeah, and Chelney just picked up the balloon weapon, which is by far and above the most useful weapon in this speedrun. You're going to be seeing a lot of really cool movement tech with it, including jumps and platforming, etc.
Now the grasshoppers that Almond just got through, they have either a slow or a fast pattern. It's just one of the many factors of RNG in this game. It's pretty random.
Also, lag reduction is very, very important in this game. So you'll see them not fire more shots than they need to. Even those platforms that Chelney's going across, you don't want them to fire any bullets because they create lag too. So you have to be very careful with that.
And you can see there, Almond was running off the side of those moving platforms, but because they were moving at the speed that they were, he can stay right on top of them.
So these boss fights are quite different. You'll see Almond City trying to avoid certain damage points. I believe it's
4, 8, and 16 health remaining. Brightman will freeze Mega Man and just hit him, and there's nothing you can do to avoid it other than not put him down to that health. It was a really good fight.
If he
by both of
freezes
them.
you, you're in trouble. So
Okay, so when either of them finishes a Robot Master stage, you'll see that they position themselves in a very specific spot in the screen. And what this allows them to do is, if they're in the right pixel, they can skip the animation where Mega Man jumps up and down and then collects the weapon. Instead, it goes straight to the weapon collection.
yeah, Chelney looks like he got it. So
Another thing that applies to every boss is the fanfare will not start until all of the boss explosion particles leave the screen, so you want to kill them as close to the center of the screen as possible. And now Almond will be demonstrating the Bright Stopper, and Chelney will be demonstrating the Balloon Jump, 2 very powerful weapons with different applications. The Bright Stopper will freeze all enemies on the screen for as long as its duration. However, its duration does not count down while Mega Man is sliding, so if you have good movement, it can last the entire screen. The balloon, which Chelney has been using, you can place it in a wall, and even though it will despawn, its hitbox is still active, so you can essentially wall jump.
And you'll see Chelney here using Pharaoh Man's weapon. It's an interesting weapon in that you create a bubble on top of you, and once you've charged it up all the way, if an enemy gets hit by that, that disappears, but without using any more ammo than you've already used, you can shoot a full charge shot again. So this is useful for taking out some enemies and bosses.
Almond City with very clean platforms, so they didn't fire at all, I think. That's what you want. And Chelney with the hippo skip, so
Mega Man 4 sliding is a little different than in some other Mega Man games in that versus Mega Man 3, you can jump out of your slide pretty much instantaneously after you slide instead of there being a delay. So this allows for some interesting movement.
Except later on, you'll see that underwater, you cannot jump out of your slide, so it makes things a little bit tricky.
Yeah,
You
Dive
have to
Man
always
is a
be
tricky
careful about
stage.
that.
Those are both very good fights. Again, Chelney demonstrated the double hit with Pharaoh that Adef mentioned earlier. 2 charge shots for the price of 1.
We have a $5,000 donation from Notch. Notch says, making sure TaskBot happens. Thanks for doing this, everyone. The speedrunning community is amazing. We thank you for that donation.
Now, Chelney is entering Dustman stage, and he does not have Brightman's weapon, which, in my opinion, is probably the hardest level in the game, because you can just instantly fall to your death, or to spikes, which is also falling to your death, technically.
So you have to be very careful.
Very bad.
Yeah, Brightman makes Dustman. You'll see it when Almond does it, but having the Bright weapon allows you to make some of these platforming sections a little more trivial. But you'll see Chelney going for some crazy jumps.
Attempting to kill enemies as soon as they appear on the screen to reduce lag.
So the ring weapon allows you to remove multiple blocks at once. So Chelney's going to be attempting to get through these stompers as fast as
In
possible.
as few cycles as possible, yeah. And this is pretty dangerous when he got it. As Almond does the hippo skip second time.
All right, coming up on Dustman, one of the first pretty random bosses. He has a suction attack that renders him invulnerable, but you can nullify it by touching him. However, contact damage again does a lot, so you can only do this 3 times before you die, so hopefully you won't have to do it. I only had to do it once, so that was a pretty good fight.
And Almond City's approaching Ringman with little health and little damage, so we'll see how he approaches that situation.
He's
Very
going for it
nice.
all out.
We have $150 from Velociraptor42. Says, I couldn't very well challenge the audience to hit 500K and not help us get there. Thanks to the staff for letting me host the first portion of such a hype block. Mega Man is easily my favorite video game series. This goes to getting that Chrono Trigger 100% run.
Yeah, Velociraptor.
Almond coming up on Dustman, and he's going to show off using Bright on it. It's a little safer.
So something we should mention, I don't know if it's been mentioned already, but when using the Bright Stopper, if you are sliding, it extends the time in which the Bright Stopper lasts. So by using this, you can reduce the amount of ammo you have to use in a section by a ton. If you do it perfectly in some screens, the only time you'll have to use it again is the next time you transition to the next screen.
And Chelney using the Pharaoh shot to kill the totems as fast as possible there, so that also helps reduce lag. Now Almond's coming up with Crusher Cycles.
And you got the one cycle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, Chelney coming up on Brightman using Pharaoh Man's weapon. Even though it isn't his weakness, the ability to get 2 charge shots without having to actually charge up both makes it faster than just bustering them.
Using Brightman's actual weakness, you're in very much danger of hitting the HP values where he will right stopper use, so you want to avoid that.
Yeah, you notice that we sort of covered it earlier, but Chelney did one uncharged shot on Brightman in order to make sure that he didn't freeze the screen.
Almond got some pretty bad luck there, but he had enough health to manage it.
Dust Man can be ruthless with the patterns.
So in the very beginning of Skullman, we're probably going to see one of the, if not the only zip we'll see in this run. Using the balloon, you're able to get right in the corner, and then if an enemy hits you, you'll become invincible and just come right through. If you aren't hit by an enemy, that zip will kill you. Because in order to reduce like the chance of zipping being a thing because you have a moving platform, Capcom made it so that you would die if you were inside of a wall.
Skullman is probably the first stage where you see the full use of the balloon here, just jumping over enemies, over walls, extending slides.
Hopping up the balloon on the first few frames that it disappears. So.
And with Brightman's weapon, you can also hit enemies in unorthodox places. Usually enemies will be invulnerable in some spots, but usually that's not an issue when you have Bright Stopper activated.
Chelney's coming into this fight with low HP could be a little bit dangerous, but we'll see how he does.
Oh, that was good.
You're very much at the mercy of Skullman's shield. I think it's random how long he has it out for, so...
Yeah, the duration of Skullman's shield is random. It's not a huge time difference, but it is a time difference.
But Almond's definitely gaining a bit of ground here, so...
An interesting fact about Skullman is if you enter his room and do no inputs, he will just stare at you forever.
I think Toadman is the same in that regard.
We have a $40 donation from Fat Homie 666 who says, "Good luck with the race, Almond and Chelney, and good luck on the runs, DP and Tonic."
All right, coming up on Dive Man stage. I believe it was mentioned earlier, but you cannot jump out of your slides underwater unless you cancel it first, which is a pretty big factor in this stage because there's a lot of just spikes and gaps next to edges but you want to slide because it's faster. So you have to be very careful to not just slide to their doom here.
And Chelney is using the Bright weapon to freeze the whale mini-boss before he fully enters, and that stops anything he'll do and also reduces a ton of lag, because when he's on the screen, I mean, it's a massive sprite. So being able to stop him like that retains his hitbox, but gets rid of the sprite altogether.
Almond freezing that guy right at the appropriate height where you can just slide under him.
See a wire.
Yeah, down that pit is the wire, but for this run it's not needed, so...
Dive Man is a pretty straightforward fight. You just jump over him and hit him with Skull Shield. Not much to it.
And you want to hit him as close as possible so that the shield doesn't show up much.
Much like the skips in which you skip the animation, with the Dive Man fight, if you jump at the which Chelney just got, if you jump at the right time, you can actually skip it altogether and go straight to it.
Schemax donated $50 and says, "Hi there, Chelney. Good luck on the race from all of us in Toad's chat. Also, shout out to the whole Mega Man speedrunning community. SGDQ, keep on doing your great stuff and kill the animals.
And shoutouts to Toad.
Much like Skullman stage demonstrated the balloon, Drillman stage is going to be pretty much exclusively Bright Stopper until the boss himself. It's great that Capcom just put all these enemies in the game and you just say, no, I don't feel like dealing with them.
Yeah, so even if you use Bright Stopper, the enemies that would spawn anyway and just stay exactly in their spawning positions, so this makes a lot of the platforming sections towards the end of the stage pretty tricky.
Coming up on this last screen that Chelney is approaching, it's a very long screen. And if your Bright Stopper runs out in the wrong spot, you can die because enemies will just start moving again. So you have to have either very good movement or just play it extremely safe.
Chelney missed a slide there, but made a very good recovery, anticipating that that enemy would start moving at that exact spot.
Drillman. Does anybody want to talk about Drillman?
Not really, but I can do it.
Nobody likes.
Drillman's the worst. He just does what drill men do.
Which is drill, and you don't want that. So
Yeah, exactly.
right off the bat, Chelney got a very good pattern. He walked across the screen and he's jumping, so
That dive that Drillman just did, he can do pretty much whenever he wants, and
it's just an instant
loses
time
about,
loss.
6 seconds?
Yeah, it
every
renders
time?
him invulnerable also immediately. So you can't even hit him in that animation, even though he's still out of the ground. But yeah,
Chelney.
Chelney got a pretty good pattern there. Almond also getting a decent pattern.
The best pattern you can get is when he jumps back and forth across the screen and doesn't ever think about going under. So.
The first drill down always happens, though,
Yeah.
when you first enter the room.
Thankfully, he was nice to both of them the first time. We'll see what happens the second time.
From Mad Aaron, we have $50. Greetings from Germany. Thanks to all the runners for an awesome week of entertainment. Keep on running.
So this first long screen in Toadman is interesting because you can get through the entirety of it with one use of the bright weapon, with well-placed slides and short jumps.
Also, you can see the rain coming in sideways. It does actually affect Mega Man when he's in the air, so it's pretty easy to misjudge your jump and just fall.
There are also mini-boss skips in this stage that utilize the fact of Bright Man freezing a boss, but his hitbox still being there, and they're able to clip right through the snail, and you'll see that in a second.
Another interesting mechanic is you cannot jump out of your slide if it's underneath one of these waterfalls, so it's pretty easy to just slide to your death as well. You have to cancel it.
Yeah, again, water is an issue. So.
And Chelney got the first mini-boss skip.
And a very nice backwards damage boost into the screen transition. So
Here's the
that's
second
nice
one.
over time.
And he got it as well.
Very nice.
Very tricky to do. Now it's just an easy slide to the Toadman.
All right, coming up on Toadman, probably the hardest boss in classic Mega Man.
Yeah, his pattern is wholly unpredictable.
Yeah. Very difficult. He doesn't have max health. I'm not sure he's going to get through this, to be honest.
If only he had more drill, he might be okay.
So you just hit Toadman and he doesn't do anything.
He does a little dance.
He's a punching bag.
However, if you don't hit him, he uses an unavoidable attack, so...
I don't know how they got through that fight.
You can also explode Drillman's weapon in midair by pressing B while it hasn't hit anything yet, so you can use this to hit an enemy before the drill actually touches him. And that'll be used in a boss later. Oh man, snow.
Yeah. Coming up on the Cossack stages, these are pretty challenging stages. A lot of pits, a lot of enemies. I got nothing.
Slinky.
Snow
Slinky
makes
on
you
it.
go slow.
Yeah.
Snow is slow.
And there's also ice physics. Icy physicsy. Chelney actually delaying there to make sure that the second wheel enemy doesn't go to the ladder because you can't climb it if he's on top of it.
And here you have to be careful that enemies are coming up out of the ground.
So only a full buster charged buster shot will kill the skull enemies, so if he ever just shoots it with anything less, it will simply fall.
We see more usage of the balloon coming up. A very versatile item. Oh, Almond despawned that enemy, look like.
This next boss has a very frustrating hitbox. Moves up and down. You can only jump so high, so you have to have pretty good timing with your ring weapon to hit him.
Yeah, the hitbox is really small for this boss. It's like right on that blinking red dot.
And it's important to note you don't want to waste too many rings because you need to conserve ammo for the boss rush unless it gets skipped.
Yeah, you want to conserve ammo because it transitions throughout the wily stages. You keep the ammo that you used.
And you cannot kill the final boss without special weapon ammo.
Yeah, so you need Pharaoh or the like to beat the final boss. This is probably one of the trickiest balloon jumps in the game. Chelney pulling through. Almond almost.
This entire room is just a series of deboosting off enemies, maintaining iframes, and sliding across spikes, because Rush Jet is very slow in this game.
An interesting thing about Rush is that if you get hit while Rush is on screen, he will immediately teleport to your position. So you can use this with Rush Jet. If you're jumping over a gap or something and an enemy hits you, Rush will come to you as long as you summoned him before.
All right, coming up on Square Machine, another random boss.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Drill Man, but he can be troublesome.
You can definitely lose a lot of time to him not giving you good
And
patterns.
Chelney got bad
Chelney
RNG.
already got a bad
Yeah,
pattern.
if you get the fast movement on the square, then he'll immediately go medium and then the slow, and you can only hit him in the slow.
And he slid off his block there. That's
Almond got the same RNG,
Yeah.
so
And contact with this guy does a ton of damage.
so you don't want to take contact damage, and you want to get in as many hits as possible in a cycle, which
4 is pretty ideal.
oh, that was a good recovery.
Nice.
From Marky the Bold, we have $50. Glad to hear donations have made it over 500,000. Doing my part to help hit the million. Best of luck to the speedrunners.
so now we reach the auto scroller of the game, which
Thankfully, it's the best track.
It's pretty good.
This is probably a good time for donations.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing because we have a lot of them. $100 from Digital Badger. So glad I could catch the classic Mega Man block. Watching these runs over the past few GDQs is what got me into speedruns, and it's such a blast to see the pros demolish some of these Capcom classics. Best of luck to the runners, and put my money towards Chrono Trigger for 100%. CJ donated $50 and says, "Hey guys, been watching the GDQ events for a couple years now, and I'm finally in a position I can contribute myself. Thanks for everything you all do. It's amazing how a bunch of gamers can make such a big difference. This goes to Chrono Trigger 100%, one of my favorites. Chris P25 donated $100. Mega Man Block is always my favorite. Everyone there is doing a great job, and it's fantastic to watch the games and the donations roll in. Notch beat me to TaskBot playing Mega Man, so this goes to Chrono Trigger 100%. And just a reminder, too, that you can see some of the upcoming incentives on the bottom of your screen. So keep those in mind when you're considering where to allocate the money that you donate as far as the marathon is concerned. Keeping in mind those grand prizes persist throughout the marathon as well. So if you donate $30 or more, you're entered to win a PlayStation 4. If you're donating during the Mega Man block now, $5 or more will enter you to win some Mega Man art prints. We've got $44 from King of 9X. I used to play Mega Man 4 for the Game Boy with the magnifier peripheral, which means I'm probably older than both runners combined. That being said, this year I got a new job, and so I have some money to donate. Here's $44 for Mega Man 4.
If you never end up shooting the Pharaoh weapon, like if you just charge it over your head and use it to kill small enemies, it won't use any ammo. Like you see the screen transitioned, and he never let go of B, so he didn't lose any ammo, which is nice.
And then
Nice
ties
moonwalk.
into-
Yeah.
Oh, Chelney missing a shot there.
Yeah, this boss is pretty tight on ammo.
Because as we said, it's critical to have it for final Wily, so
It's also one of the laggiest bosses in the game, so you got to be careful to not just make a mistake and fall to your doom.
I saw effects from both.
From Chief61, we have $150. Greetings from Canada. First time watching SGDQ, and I have to say I'm impressed with everything. Doctors Without Borders is an amazing cause and deserves as much support as they can get. Thank you to all involved in this great cause.
Chelney having to pick up ammo because of the previous boss fight. As we mentioned before, ammo is very tight in the end game, so something he had to do. The stage is pretty straightforward, though. It's just rush to Cossack and get it done.
Missing an equip in this game is pretty costly because the start menu takes a long time to open and close.
It's about 2 seconds, yes? That was my understanding.
The runner's pretty much neck and neck at this point.
Yeah. Almond City gaining ground, so this is going to be a close one to the very end. So coming up to Dr. Cossack here, I think traditionally it used to be that he's weak to the wire, so you grab that, but they found a strat where you dash into the corner, and you'll see that, and then Dr. Cossack becomes confused, so he doesn't know what to do, so he just goes up and down. It's very easy to finish him off like that.
And this is where you learn that Dr. Wily is actually the bad guy all along.
Who knew?
Gasp. Dr. Wowie. Eyebrows.
Nice.
We have $46.02 from Empty Dubs. Amazing marathon so far. Keep it up. Hoping all the attendees are enjoying the Minnesotan hospitality.
The stage is Mets, Mets, and more Mets. It's pretty much the only enemy in it, right?
Even a Metal Daddy.
Yep.
The dancing Mets take 3 hits, because why not? What is the exact damage that a fully charged Buster equates to? It's 3, yeah.
It is 3, yeah.
It's 3.
Again, both
Done.
runners having to be careful with their slides in this portion to not just slide into spikes.
A normal lemon is 1, half charge is 2, the full charge is 3. You see Chelney switched underneath the ladder because if you're on the ladder and you switch, your sprite will flicker and will hit the spikes and you'll die, so it's very careful that you don't do that. It's got me a bunch of times.
This boss coming up is only vulnerable to damage for certain periods of time, and it's random. And so you need a good pattern in order to cycle him. So hopefully both runners get that.
This is the daddy of all mats.
He also does a tremendous amount of damage if you touch him.
And he'll tremor the ground when he lands, so you don't want to be on the ground at the end of his jump.
And Chelney did not get a good pattern.
To get through him, you want a damage boost off of the small mats, because just the damage is unreal here. So
Both runners still made it work though.
very hard fights, really good.
We have $3.50 from Filippo24. He says, unfortunately, I can't donate more this year, but every little bit helps. Here's to a great cause and amazing speedruns. And that's worth emphasizing, even if you feel like your donation is not very large, the small donations add up quickly. So please consider donating anything that you can to the cause.
This is the one area you do want to use Rush Jet, so... and actually, I'm not sure why they don't use Balloon there.
They don't have any balloon ammo.
Oh, right, no ammo, so...
Facing right when Rush Shed spawns there for some reason influences his position so that it's a little easier to land on him.
Oh, and that's a very tight jump. It's really easy to miss. Now this boss has a very interesting property where if you hit him with a drill in 1 or 2 spots, you can go straight through his hitbox, as you've seen.
And Chelney's actually just choosing to bypass that and go straight for the ring shots.
Which I think that avoids the switch, so you save about 2 seconds doing that, but...
And while this race is close, I'd also like to challenge the chat to a very close race here. Can we reach $510,000 by the end of Mega Man 4? We're very close. Your donations could help us get there.
So you'll see them pick up very specific weapons that you'll need for the refights coming up. Which a skip for the refights was found recently, but it's very difficult. I believe it's 36 frame perfect inputs in a 39 frame window, so I believe Chelney said that he got into the wall one time, but he couldn't get the zip to happen, so I'm not sure if any of these guys will go for it, probably.
And here they're going to be actually using Dustman's weapon against Pharaoh Man, even though it isn't his weakness, technically. It kills him faster than bustering or using Bright Stopper on him, which is his weakness.
It takes about 19 seconds to kill him with Dust versus about 33 with Bright. Buster's actually a lot faster than Bright, but still a little slower than Dust.
As you said, Skullman can just keep his shield up for as long as he wants. He doesn't care that you have somewhere to be. So.
They're going to do the first couple shots of damage on Bright with Skull, because even though Brightman's true weakness is Toad's weapon, it's a very slow weapon that only hits him once for every time you use it. And, I mean, as you can see, it takes quite a bit of time.
And again, you want to avoid the HP values that cause him to trigger his Flash Stopper, so that's also part of the reason why.
Also, for some reason, Toadman's weapon hits Drillman when he's on the ground, even though he's invulnerable to pretty much everything else.
Yeah, you can get, because
Saves you a hit.
The dive missile does 3 damage to him, you want to avoid that extra shot by getting the Toad hit in early, so that you only have to hit him 9 times.
Almond got perfect RNG with Drillman there.
Yeah.
Chelney got a dive, 2 dives.
Oh, 2 dives, wow.
This is 12 seconds. Drillman is Drillman. He likes to drill.
Still quite a bit of game left.
Yeah, it's still up to Dustman RNG, so. And Almond with a really good pattern, so. We'll see what Chelney gets.
This is a great sound coming up.
Chelney with perfect Dustman. RNG.
Yeah.
You want to make the last hit on this form of the machine with Drill because it actually damages the second form as well. So your first shot to it will do double damage.
And the health bar on the second phase comes up immediately, as opposed to having to watch it load up again.
Also for the second form, you want to hit Wily Machine as close to the front as possible, but if your health is low, it's very dangerous, so in order to be safe, he opted to go further away.
We're on to the last stage of the game.
The final stretch.
And the first 2 screens or so, it's all execution, but when it comes to the boss, there's an opportunity for double hits, but it all depends on where Wily spawns. And that's also, like everything else, completely random.
So it's a lot of skill and a lot of luck here, so I'm clearing the first 2 screens very cleanly. Oh. And Almond a little bit low on Pharaoh, but I think he has just enough to finish this.
Oh.
What a
Chelney
race.
takes it.
Oh my!
Wow.
Ladies
Oh
and
my
gentlemen,
goodness.
Almond City and Chelney.
It was a good race, guys. Good race.
With the double hit. Very nice.
That is the most incredible race I have ever seen.
Ooh, right down to the wire. Except there was no wire.
Oh my god. That's very nice. You got beasted it.
All right, that's it for Mega Man 4. One more round of applause for these 2 runners. Mega Man 10 coming up next. You're watching Summer Games Done Quick 2015. It's the speedrunning event.